never called to bear my part or share the glory of our art? And, which is worse, all that you have done but been but for a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his own ends and not for you. But, make a nice now. Come on. Get she gone. And at the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither thee will come to know his destiny. Your vessels and your spells provide, your charms and everything beside. I am before the air, this fateful night I'll spend unto a dim and dismal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon upon the corner of the moon. There hangs a vaporous drop profound. I'll catch it ere it come to ground, and that distilled by magic sleets shall rise such artificial sprites, that by the strength of their illusion shall draw him on to his confusion. He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes of wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know that security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Hark, I am called my little spirit sea, sits on a foggy cloud and waits for me.
Come, let's make haste. She'll soon be back again. Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Days and nights as 31, toad under that cold stone. Sweltered venom, sleeping got, boil thou first in the charmed pot. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Flay off a fanny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Liver of a blaspheming Jew, gall of goat and slips of yew, slivered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips, finger of birth-strangled babe, ditch delivered by a drab, make the gruel thick and slab. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
Oh, well done! I commend your pains, and now everyone shall share the gains. And now about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you've put in.
By the cracking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Oh, now you secret black and midnight hags. What is it you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you, by that which you profess, howe'er you came to know it, answer me to what I ask.
Speak.
Demand, we'll answer.
Say if thou'dst rather hear it from our mouths or from our master.
Call him. Let me see him.
Her!
Pour in so's blood that hath eaten her 9 pharaohs, grease that sweated, from the murderer's gibbet throw into the flame.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but speak thou not.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Beware Macduff. Beware the fate of Fife. Dismiss me. Enough.
Where thou art, for thy caution thanks. But one word more.
She will not be commanded.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. None of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff, what need I fear of thee? Yet I'll make assurance double sure and take a bond of fate. I shall not live, that I might tell pale-hearted fear it lies in sleep, in spite of thunder.
Silence. She's not done.
Be lion-mettled and proud. Take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall not be vanquished till Burnham wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
That shall ne'er be, for who can impress the forest, bid the trees unfix his earthbound roots. Sweet bottomance good. Rebellion's head shall ne'er rise till the wood of Burnham rise, in our high place Macbeth shall live the lease of nature and pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing more. Tell me, if your art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue e'er reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall upon you.
Show!
Show. Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Now are too much like the spirit of Banquo. Down! The crown doth sear mine eyeballs. Gold thou brow is like the first, and third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? Another yet. What shall this line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet. And he bears a glass and shows many more, and I know 'tis true, for Banquo smiles and points at them as his. What? Is this so?
Aye, sir. All this is so.
But this hour stand I, accursed in this calendar. Come in there without Lennox!
What's your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters.
No, my lord.
Came they not by?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereupon they ride, and damned all who trust in them. I heard the galloping of horses. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3, my lord, that bring you word. Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England! From this very moment, the very firstlings of my thoughts should be the firstlings of my hands, and be it thought and done, to crown my thoughts with deeds. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, and put to sword all who trace him in his line, his wife, his children, his servants, all who follow him. No more boasting like a fool. This deed I do before the purpose cool. Where are those gentlemen? Bring me before them.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
Patience? He had none. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion and his titles from a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. All is the fear and nothing is the love, as little to the wisdom that runs against all reason.
My dearest cuz, I pray you school yourself. But as for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. Cruel are the times when we are the traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea, each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. My pretty cousin, blessing upon you both.
Fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless.
I'd be a fool should I stay much longer. Be my disgrace to your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father is dead, and what will you do now? How will you live?
My father's not dead, for all you're saying.
Yes, he is dead. What wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how will you do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
You'll buy him to sell him again.
Thou speakest with all thy wit, and yet I faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
That he was.
What's a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and they must be hanged for their actions.
Must they all be hanged and swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest man. And then...
Where is your husband?
Oh.
Bless you, fair dame. I am not too noble, your same honor and perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly, if you will take a homely man's advice. Be not found here, hence with your little ones. Heaven preserve you, I dare fight no.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now that I am of this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, and to do good is often dangerous folly. Why, alas, do I put up my womanly defense to say that I have done no harm? What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified, whither thou may find him.
He's a traitor. Thou liest, thou shaggard villain! What?
You egg!
Don't try it, treachery! Mother, he has killed me! Oh, run away, I pray you!
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men bestride our downfall and birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new babes cry out, new sorrow strike heaven on the face, as it resounds, as if it felt with all of Scotland and yelled out like a syllable of dollar. See, who comes here?
My countrymen, the Thane of Ross.
My ever gentle cousin, welcome hither. Stand Scotland blurted.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where shrieks and sighs and groans that rend the air are made, not marked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is scarce tasked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere it sicken.
Oh, relation too nice and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
How does my wife?
Why? Well,
And my children?
well, too.
Be not in the guard of your speech, how goeth?
Nay, they were well at peace when I did leave them.
What concerned this? The general cause, or is it a fee grief due to some single breath?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever. It shall possess thee with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised. Your wife, babes, savagely slaughtered. To relate the death on the manor of the hoary murdered deer. To add to the death of you.
Oh, merciful heaven! What, man? Ne'er pull your hat upon your brow. Give sorrow words. This grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
Children too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence my wife killed too.
We've said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All, did you say all? All my pretty chickens and their dam in one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I also must feel it as a man. Cannot help but remember such things that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were struck for thee, not for that I am, not for their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
slay the braggart with my tongue and the woman with mine eyes. But, front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword's length set him. If he scape, heaven forgive him too.
This tune goes manly. Come, go we to our king. Our power is ready. Our lack is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. This night is long that never finds the day.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since his majesty hath went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, take up her nightgown, take folder, fold it, write upon it, read it, afterwards seal it, and again return to bed, all while in the most fast asleep.
A great perturbation in nature. To receive at once the benefits of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most me you should.
Not to you nor anybody, having no person to confirm my words. Lo, you hear she comes, and upon my guise fast asleep, observe her and stand close.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hand.
It seems to be an accustomed action to seem thus washing her hands. I've seen her to continue it up to a quarter an hour. Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will sit down requesting her, to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, dem spot! Out, I say! Fly, my lord. Fly. A soldier afeard. Who need we fear? Who knows it? When none can call our power to such account. Yet who had thought the old man to have so blood in him?
Do you mark that?
Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What? Will these hands never be clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that, my lord. No more of that, my lord. You mar with all this starting.
Go to, go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoke what she should not. I am sure that only heaven knows what she's known. Here's the smell of the blood still. The perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh.
What a sigh is there?
I have not the heart in my bosom but for the dignity of my whole body.
Well,
Pray, cut it be, sir. Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Be not lost so poorly to your thoughts. I tell you again. Who is buried? He cannot come out of his grave.
even so.
To bed. There's knocking at the gate. What's done cannot be undone. What's done cannot be undone. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed. Bed.
she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of ill annoyance. And still keep eyes upon her. So good night.
Good night, good doctor.
My mind she has mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not